Getting hotter here, and it's time for business now. Cammy Knight joins us here in the studio. Donald Trump's tariffs continue to make big headlines after he sent letters to 14 trading partners. Are they still going to be trading partners afterwards? I suppose that's the question. What have you got?
We won't have much of a choice, but Trump was in a cabinet meeting just earlier answering questions, and he mentioned a new blanket tariff that he planned on imposing on copper imports, also just suggesting more sector-specific duties would be on the way. Let's hear what he had to say.
We did steel, as you know, they're 50%. We did aluminum, 50%. Lumber just came out.
We're entering that's copper.
And we did cars. And now, today, we're doing copper.
Copper and lumber. What would that tariff be on? The sectional tariff?
I believe the tariff on copper, we're going to make it 50%.
Copper prices jumped to a record high after the announcement. Copper, of course, is a critical mineral when it comes to the transition to clean energy. Trump also mentioned pharmaceuticals, but said companies would be given up to a year and a half before those would be put in place. It comes after he sent letters to 14 different partners, giving them their new tariff rate, most of those either slightly lower or unchanged compared to the ones he announced back in April, but also delaying the implementation of those to the 1st of August. Let's get the full list up here. Japan and South Korea, for instance, could face 25% tariffs. South Africa could face a 30% tariff unless a deal is struck, which comes as a huge blow to the country. Now, what's becoming increasingly clear, though, is that nothing is set in stone when it comes to Trump's tariffs. And the repeated pushing back of the deadline implies there is still some wiggle room there, even for countries who have received a letter. Japan, for instance, has already resumed talks with the US this Tuesday. Take a listen.
The two sides saw some progress. I told Lutnick that it is regrettable that the tariff rate increased even by 1%, as well as the series of tariff measures.
In other news, EU ministers have given the final green light on Tuesday for Bulgaria to adopt the euro on the 1st of January 2026, making it the single currency area's 21st member. It comes after years of efforts and reforms from authorities in Sofia to meet strict criteria, bringing the nation's economy into convergence with the rest of the eurozone. Luke Schrager has more.
A vote in the European Parliament.
The vote is closed.
And a new era awaits for Bulgaria.
And it is adopted. Congratulations, Bulgaria.
It took years of reform from Sofia, but those efforts have paid off, with Eurozone finance ministers giving the green light for Bulgaria to join the euro on January 1st next year.
We fulfilled all the criteria. For more than 2 decades, Bulgaria has been following this path. Inflation is below the reference levels. Public finances are stable. The requirements for the deficit have been fulfilled. And we've been following all this for more than 2 years.
The path, though, hasn't been a smooth one. Bulgaria's had 7 elections in 3 years, the most recent last October, and it's fought to bring its economy into convergence with the rest of the Eurozone. What's more, since early optimism when Bulgaria joined the European Union in 2007, public opinion's cooled on the euro significantly, with polls putting half the population against it and anti-euro protests taking place since June. An opportunity for Bulgaria's far-right opposition to promote anti-EU narratives and play on fears of price rises. Analysts, though, harbour few illusions over what the future will bring.
The major challenges that we face are the same as 10 or 20 years ago. Competitiveness, fiscal discipline and sound policy making are essential, and these fundamentals are just as critical inside the Eurozone as outside. We see both success stories and failures within the Eurozone.
Along with their approval, EU finance ministers also set the official conversion rate of 1 lev 95 to the euro.
The French Parliament has passed a controversial agriculture bill this Tuesday. The Duplon law was presented as a response to the farmers' protests of winter 2024, and it will reintroduce a pesticide called acetamiprid that was banned in 2020, a chemical blamed for killing bee populations and presenting potential health risks. Supporters of the bill, including a major farming union, say the move is crucial to protect crops like beetroot and hazelnuts from pests. But other farmer unions, environmental groups and opposition lawmakers strongly oppose the law. Let's hear some of their arguments.
This bill will only benefit a handful of farmers. No one is fooled by it. It will do nothing to meet our main demand, which is the question of income, farm income and farmer income.
Acetamiprid is the name of the neonicotinoid they want to authorise. It crosses the placental barrier in pregnant women. It can affect a developing child and in particular the development of its brain. It's suspected of being involved in an increase in neurodevelopmental disorders. This bill is presented as a bill for agriculture. No, it's a law against public health, and one that's been denounced as such by numerous doctors and by the president of the League Against Cancer.
The bill also includes a controversial measure to expand water storage for irrigation amid rising droughts and a provision to ease environmental rules for building large-scale intensive livestock farms. Despite the backlash, the law passed the final hurdle with support from the government majority, Conservatives and part of the far right. The left will be appealing that through the Constitutional Council.
Cami with the business, thank you as always. Cami back with more business, of course, in just about an hour's time. The business never sleeps here, and neither does the news. Stay with us, more to come.